Hear me? Not so sure if you can, but we'll see in just a second. Hello, 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 and welcome back to another crypto live stream. Let me know real quick in the chat box if you guys can all see this. We will most likely wait a couple of seconds before we get started. Usually I put this screen up, but a couple of you guys have said just sit here and wait. It's better than having that little "will come in a second" screen. So I'll try to just quickly share our stuff before we go on. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just quickly grabbing the Twitter and sharing it over in Telegram, and then we'll get started. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Today's update is mostly a lot of pieces of crypto news that are bundled together. There's a lot going on. It's like really crazy today. It's been filled with crypto news, so I'll share everything. And also, things are looking quite dire for the crypto market right now as we speak. I want to talk exactly about what I think is going to happen to the crypto prices in the next couple of hours and what I'm most likely going to be trading at. So, yeah, and if you're wondering about the title, there's one insight, one piece of insight, I think, that if you guys think about this properly, you'll have like a 1,000% advantage over the majority of others. It's crazy. It's just one piece of information you got to have. And I think a lot of you guys watching my channel all the time probably know it by now, but still, there's so many people out there which do not have this this notion just quite yet. So we'll talk about that in this little live stream. So yeah, again, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm quickly sharing the stream over on the Telegram and the other places, yeah, whatever. And then we can get started. All right, how you guys been, by the way? For anybody coming in right now, coming in hot, I'm going to have to share it over on Telegram on my phone. Hey, Techie, what's up? You back again, huh? Already? That's fast. You're waiting, huh? Did you get the notification for it, or you're just lucky you stumbled by it? Sharing it in Discord. Hit here. There we go. And the last Discord, and then we can get started. But I'm doing a lot of live streams nowadays, huh? So I'm also spamming in my Discords a little bit. A little bit annoying, but it is what it is. I think a lot of people might enjoy it, the live streams, that is. So it's better maybe that I put the notification in there. All right. Dirty Taker says, okay, I refresh my feed and use these same search terms. Fair enough. Yeah, understandable. Crypto news or something like that. All right. So, yeah, we'll talk about a lot this little live stream. But let's just, before anything else, talk really briefly about what I think is going to happen to the crypto market. Long story short, things are looking quite negative right now for Bitcoin, XRP, anything. And that's mostly based upon the fact that the stock market is so negative right now. It's been making lower levels. And every single time it does that, the crypto prices start falling too. Now, right now, as it currently stands, Bitcoin is breaking towards the downside. I just provided this information over on my Telegram as well, and I'm right now in a little short position. Then again, that short position is actually a little bit too scary. To rephrase, nobody should actually open a short position until you get confirmations, but sometimes I place a tight stop loss and I put my short up. I basically pull up my short before I should, if you guys get my drift, to get that extra amount of profit and then get stopped out if the move was inaccurate. This is not a trading strategy I would recommend to people. It's something I sometimes do whenever I feel there's a higher likelihood of the move continuing on. But again, that is riskier. So for anybody wondering, yes, I have a short right open right now over on Bitcoin. Is it safe? Absolutely not. The longs are far outweighing the shorts right now. A lot of people are extremely bullish on Bitcoin as always. But I'm currently thinking that that's the best way for me to go about it. Let's just put it like that. I'm actually thinking of putting some more money into the short, purely because Bitcoin looks to actually be breaking down pretty significantly here. Then again, hopefully you guys can imagine the reason I'd say yes versus no. The reason I'd say yes, open up a short and go crazy, is mostly because I'm thinking, well, there's a pretty high likelihood we're going to be breaking down as the stock market keeps moving down lower. And yeah, usually Bitcoin kind of follows that along. Then again, also over on a weekly perspective, we talked about this before, right? Bitcoin right now could have a really bullish close and just follow on the levels in which it had in July and over in January. But the way in which Bitcoin is currently looking, it's looking as if it's not going to actually bounce off of this, right? Off of this little demand zone here. I think best case, we actually see a bounce of 27 point something, which is basically 200 weekly EMA. That's a huge bounce to get. But honestly, it's looking as if we can't really talk about the bullish scenario just quite yet, purely because of the severity in which it is moving down. Now, again, do not think of this as a certainty. It's Friday. Stocks can definitely have a crazy little spike upwards again just before week's end, and that can also result in Bitcoin actually pumping over the weekend as the stock market is already closed, which again can be bullish, and that can be a little bit of a crazy reversal. But the reason I called this video 99% will miss is one thing you should understand really carefully right now, guys, is that these people want to get you out of the crypto market. I've been looking at so many articles today. I swear it's been like, let's say 30, 40 articles or so. And my conclusion by far for today is this is not a normal dump or so. There's orchestrated fear pumped into the crypto market, or really any asset for that matter. Things are being extremely fearful to an extent I've really not seen very often before. I've been checking Reddit, and I'm not talking about the normal traditional posts of trolling and stuff like that. I'm talking about how many people talk of these recession pieces and so. The recession talk is so severe. Different countries talking about how recession this, that, the recession, crash. People are fearful, and it's crazy right now. The fact that the UST thing is now called an attack, the fact that the US versus SEC, US SEC versus Ripple thing is so strange. The fact that now a crypto bill is coming on in, the regulations are coming in hot, and the US SEC is saying we're going to go for massive regulation by enforcement in the crypto space as well. Things are not looking really good. One thing you got to understand, though, is that's all the narrative they're trying to plant into your head. If we honestly look at crypto adoption and in the way in which things are moving right now, it's mind-boggling. It's going so fast. It's going so happily. Luna Terra. It's been a little bit of the freaking, I don't know, bugs in my food. I'm not really sure how to call it. Like tar. When you're trying to eat some popcorn or whatever. It's not so nice. But generally speaking, that's one of the worst announcements that we could have talked about in crypto. The majority of the announcements that we're talking about here are really, really bullish. But I swear it all comes down to this stablecoin scenario and this stablecoin drama. If you take a look at crypto Twitter, crypto Reddit, crypto Telegram, all these different things, the amount of people who are crazy fearful of stablecoins not holding up is immaculate. It is, immaculate's not the right word. It is mind-boggling, all right? It is so scary. The amount of people who think that USDT is going to just crash onto the ground. It may happen. It may surely happen. USDC put up a little bit earlier that it's all supposed to be, basically, stablecoins are not supposed to be so interesting. Yet, right now, it seems as if it's the most interesting part in it all. And I believe Coin Bureau had an interesting point earlier today that I want to point out to you guys. Let me quickly make one little transfer of some money that I want to put in another trade. And then we shall talk further. Give me just one slight little second. Putting my money there. There we go. Going to derivatives. I'm using Bybit, by the way. Whenever I talk about a trade that I'm making, guys, I am always talking about using Bybit. A link for that is in the description down below if you also are interested in that, by the way. Okay, 10 times. Sure. Okay. Yes, sir. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. I'll just quickly put that in there. But yeah, hopefully you guys agree with my, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you agree or not with the story. That's the story in which I think it's the truth inside. Let's quickly talk about the markets. Yeah. So again, stock market is actually just open, right? Oh, wow. The Dubai different time zone things mess me up. Holy smokes. What time zone am I in? What time zone? Stock S&P 500 open time. What's the open time for UK? You see, this is what always messes me up. If you travel a lot, maybe you guys know this too, that time zones can really mess you up. I'm starting to really doubt myself, guys. Right? Yeah. I think it was 3 hours ago. So I think it's normally, whatever, man. I don't freaking know anymore. I think it's supposed to be 3 hours ago, or is it 2 hours ago? Whatever, it's 2 or 3 hours ago, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's also time of winter and freaking summer times in freaking Europe. Dubai has things easy, you know? You have to think about these things. I digress, though. It's not so relevant. I wanted to say, and things are looking quite negative over on the daily. Nasdaq down about 2.3%, S&P down about 1.5 or so, and Bitcoin is also down almost 5%. Then again, the dollar index is pretty damn beautiful. Dow Jones down about 1.3%, and Russell 2000 also down about 2% over the day. That is definitely not so bullish to see, definitely not so nice to see. Then again, I think it's also interesting to most people here how the Bitcoin correlation between stocks is so significant still. I've described before the phenomena I call it, as to how Bitcoin is supposed to be this contra asset with an inverse correlation that's supposed to act exactly in the opposite. If a recession were to come, Bitcoin should stand tall and take over because the financial system is crashing. Well, but in the way in which it's currently moving, which again I think is pushed on, this agenda is pushed on by a lot of parties, is that Bitcoin, if there were to be a crazy recession, is going to move in the exact same manner. Don't you guys agree with me on this one? That as it currently stands, it looks as if Bitcoin is going to move in the exact same manner if a recession were to hit, until people start looking at Bitcoin differently. And I described this to you guys a couple of different times. There's a couple of scenarios in which Bitcoin can really stand aside from the traditional asset markets, but it's only at that point when people start to value Bitcoin for what it is. It's not something you hold on to forever for basically as a savings account. People talk about this store of value or so, but it's not gold. It's really different. Gold has been around for so long that people associate it with stableness. Bitcoin people associate with making money over time. And if you're associating with making money over time, it's due to some utility or whatnot, maybe something along those lines, or due to progression. Well, it's basically similar to stocks and indices, and really indices and Bitcoin in that sense are quite similar from that perspective. And as long as people see it as being kind of similar to putting some money into stocks, putting some money into crypto, it cannot have this inverse correlation. Because who exactly is going to think, you know what, if the dollar's not going to do well, if the S&P is not going to do well, I'll put my money into Bitcoin. Maybe some of us real big fans, maybe some of us crypto holders who've been here for a little while and really understand everything. But the majority of the traditional finance people or so, they're not going to think, you know what, my money's doing really bad. Let me put it into this other speculative investment that's basically the same investment as an index or so. Let's move in the exact same manner. It's too correlated, but only with extra severity. Where if the S&P moves down 1%, Bitcoin moves down 4%. If the S&P is down or up 2%, Bitcoin is up 10%. But it's moving in the exact same direction, though, if you guys get my drift. Mostly in these extremely negative times. It will have to go away from that. It will need a big paradigm shift, if you were to ask me. And again, I think one of these moments is going to happen where the S&P falls so significantly because of all this recession BS, and crypto will actually stay. And again, one of those things could actually be the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. That's going to get the first properly regulated crypto in the US if XRP does end up winning, which I do expect. That can actually be one of these bigger shifts, honestly, where people start valuing it differently because it's now finally a little bit regulated. But also, as I've been describing over on Twitter, I have to sneeze a little bit, but I don't want to. That's annoying. Ooh, is it going to? No, it ain't going to happen. All right, as I've described over on Twitter, if you are not following me over on Twitter just quite yet, guys, I highly recommend you guys to do so. I've been sharing a lot of value over on here. It's crazy how many articles I share on a daily basis. But take a look at this. U.S. Congress has just introduced a new crypto bill, or actually I believe 50 of them or so. 50 new bills, 50 new proposals and ideas. Notably, amidst the crypto market fear, Congress introduced 50 bills and resolutions regarding regulation, blockchain, and CBDCs. However, this milestone ruling does not include the stablecoin draft legislation and the policy covering the digital asset regulatory sphere. But they're looking into it, right? They're looking into it. Regarding regulation, again, thinking about the SEC and whatnot, regarding blockchain, regarding CBDC, and it's not yet for actually taking down stablecoins or anything like that, but it's going in the, I don't know if we could call it best direction, but it's going into a direction. Having said that, guys, in the chat box real quick, let me know where you guys are all watching from. And can you all see me properly? All good? Are we all HD and whatnot? Mr. BS Gaming says 11 cents per XRP would be nice, though. Yeah, wouldn't that be a good day, huh? When was the last time that it hit 11 cents? I think it was March of 2020. Because I believe March of 2020 we hit about 11 cents. And then slightly after the lawsuit, the price hit went as low as 17 cents. If I'm not mistaken, that's how the price moved at the time. But yeah, so the story, as I earlier described it to you guys, I think this is so interesting. The fact that U.S. Congress has introduced new crypto bills following the UST crash, or at least coming really quickly afterwards. They're saying, so basically nothing new in this bill. Just understand, 50 bills, 50 new parts that are coming in, and all so rapidly just after a major crash came in. Can you guys imagine how logical it sounds right now that this was all sort of a planned effort to make sure that they can tax crypto properly and they can regulate crypto properly? The UST crash was so amazing for the talk from Janet Yellen, the 10th and 12th of May. but also specifically for the G7 meeting, which we saw even today still. It's this 18th till the 20th. Right now, G7, so basically a couple of different countries are discussing right now over in Germany, US, France, Germany, I guess, and a couple of other countries that I can't think of right now, United Kingdom and whatnot. They're all discussing right now in Germany what to do with these cryptos and how to regulate them properly. It is really coincidental that it all happened just up front, in such a timely manner. Again, remember, over in the revival plan, right? I'm scrolled down a little bit because I've been reading a lot of these different comments, but apparently even Luna right now is coming to the fruition, to the whatever conclusion, that it's an attack on Luna holders, that it's an attack on the network and whatnot, instead of just their incompetence. And Binance came out today to explain how they could have saved themselves, how they could have saved the system had they been not so incompetent and whatnot. They did not address that. I, by the way, put that over on Twitter as well. If you guys do not know, let me quickly see. I put it somewhere over on Twitter here. For example, CZ just explained in a blog post over on Binance's Twitter how the entire Luna crash could have been avoided if the LFG deployed the reserves more timely, marking their current actions as stupid. He basically said they're pretty dumb for handling it the way that in which they did. Again, how Luna could have been easily circumvented, it's a very easy story, guys, is if they just went in and actually deployed all their capital, the moment that the UST was 5% from its peg, it could have most likely been salvaged and saved. Specifically, as we consider this to be a really actual attack instead of just a flaw in the system, the majority of people wouldn't have really noticed. Wow, a 5% move? Heavy! But nobody would have really cared. Nobody would have really noticed. It's only since the price crashed about 95 or so that they start to, I think they started to move on to it after like 80% or so, that they started to kind of try salvage things. Because if you think about it, they spent about $880 million on Luna, but they bought 220 million Luna from their UST, which was, again, messing up the UST even more, I believe. That's about $4 per Luna or so, so that's already, let's say, about 90% down. And even the UST buy was very, very late, if you were to ask me. They just were really reckless with all of this, which is why CZ is just not happy with them whatsoever. Again, the company lost 1.5 billion, so you can surely understand that they're not too excited about what transpired, what happened, whatever. Marianne says, I stopped trading now, just buy and wait. Yeah, so the thing about that is, it's honestly not really bad to not trade or do anything. By the way, for all of my Bybit traders out here, let me quickly know, how many of you guys actually trade crypto actively? Just let me quickly know by saying yes or no in the chat box real quick. Let me quickly see that. Because for anybody that's actually on my team over on Bybit, not my team, doesn't have to be necessarily, but in about a couple of days, there's actually a multi-million-dollar competition starting over on Bybit. And for any of you guys that do not have an account just quite yet, just know I always trade on Bybit. You guys know that by now. But this competition will actually allow for some really normal-ass people, so to speak, to win tens, hundreds, or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions, or a couple millions of dollars. I believe the prize pool is like 6 million or so, which is why I honestly recommend you guys to, again, join the Telegram. I have a link down below, which is like an alerts Telegram or so. I will pin it right now. I'm going to be trying to, whenever I trade in the next couple of days, I'm going to try to put as many of my insights in there. I'm not so sure if I'll put exact trades because that's a little bit risky on my side. If people follow you too tightly, they might mess themselves up, because you guys got to understand. People are a little bit too clingy when it comes to you giving out an update sometimes. So they think, oh, he put this, I'm going to put all my money into this one trade. And let's say I lose one of them, right? Let's say we make 4 trades, I lose one of them or so, and they actually caught the wrong one, and they lose all their money. No. So I have to be a little bit more cautious with that. But I think I'll share my updates regarding the price and whatnot. All right, so make sure you join that little Telegram. A link has been put right now into the YouTube section right there, into the chat box. But yeah, just letting you guys know. All right, let's move on, though, because on Twitter, I've been sharing a lot of this stuff. Let's quickly go over some of the things which I've found, right, over the last day or so. First of all, Terra DeFi apps have hemorrhaged a whopping $28 billion since the start of the month. Just understand that over on the Terra ecosystem, $28 billion were just kind of like evaporated, basically, or just they messed it up. They messed it up big time. Now, for that reason, Do Kwon, the founder of Terra, is also being investigated for a Ponzi scheme. In reality, I'm not so sure if we can call it a Ponzi scheme, but they're investigating him, though. And that is very interesting to me to see. The South Korean authorities also reportedly issue a warning not to wager on Luna's comeback. They're basically saying, don't put your money on the fact that this is still going to work out, which I think is definitely the right thing to say from the South Korean authority side. You can't say, oh, you know what? Maybe Luna will come back or so. There's a 99% chance that Luna is just really a failure. And even the Luna 2.0 or so. I think you guys are excited mostly because you're getting free money. But I don't think we can conclude right now that it's a really smart idea to put a lot of money inside of it, right? I think I think you guys will agree with me on that one. It would be kind of stupid to put a lot of money inside. I am speculating a little bit on Luna. I have some money in Luna, but that's with the idea in the back of my head that this is pretty stupid. Then, Justin, the SEC can't confirm if a video of Bill Hinman is actually Bill Hinman in the Ripple case. Now, this specific part I'll actually talk about a little bit more over in another video, which I'll make later, is because it's that crazy, all right? Then again, I like to discuss my Ripple lawsuit part differently in different videos because a lot of you guys like to watch my channel for those lawsuit updates and lawsuit like ridiculousnesses. SEC Chair Gary Gensler warns that a lot of crypto tokens will fail following the Luna UST collapse. This is actually, I think, one thing we will agree on, me and Gensler. The fact that the Luna collapse set in motion a very big sort of stormfall of multiple different cryptos meeting the same fate. And that is mostly because people now start to look into the fact that, it's like 2018, where people start to notice, wow, not every single ICO is like a money-making machine. A lot of these things are just pure scams. Not every single website is a gold mine after the Big Connect collapse. I'm not exactly sure what year it was, 2017 or 2018, but that definitely was a little bit of a time to be like, wow, okay, never mind. Not everything is like rose-colored or freaking purple and whatnot. A couple other things, just pieces of news, right? I have to share with you guys. If you're in the crypto space, you need to know this stuff, I think. Thousands of Bit Digital crypto miners just went offline after an explosion and fire in a New York facility. I sometimes think New York is so negative towards crypto, yet this happened, really? Like the fact that they had such big miners over there? I didn't even know. And in the same sense as Gary Gensler, right? The blockchain CEO, blockchain.com, Peter Smith, just explained how he expects there even more crypto destruction to come in the next couple of weeks following the UST debacle. So he basically just said expect a whole lot of volatility and a whole lot of negativity following what happened to UST, basically. And the fact that right now people are in a little bit of a state where they're more fearful than before. Specifically regarding stablecoins, and I would say regarding most things. People in the crypto space right now are fearful, and I personally think a lot of it is manipulation. I think a lot of it is manipulation. A lot of it is manipulation. Yeah, it really is. People don't want to accept that though, right? The fact that you're being manipulated even though you don't understand it fully, you don't know it, but you are. Yeah. So again, to kind of come back on our earlier point, right now over on the 4 hour, there's actually two ways in which I've drawn the Bitcoin price, which is why I'm a little bit more skeptical, right? So again, when will we place a short? When is it warranted? Now, personally, I think we can actually place one right now with a lower chance of succeeding because of this right here. Let's say this were to break out towards the downside. That is not a, let me see, if we were to break out to the downside right there, right? That is not an indication of an entry just quite yet. It's only at the moment in which we go towards the downside and actually do end up closing below the downside. So like a 4 hour candle. I should have changed this up a little bit. It would have been nicer, but it's okay. Let's say we have it like this with a big red candle right there and then a bigger red candle afterwards, even though they're green. You hopefully understand it. That's a very nice confirmation. The only thing is you're going to be very late to this move. It could be that you've already missed out, for example, in this little, I would say, grand scheme of things on a potential, let's see here real quick. Can I do this? Yes, there we go. On a 4% or so. And with our 10% leverages, it could be that you're already missing out on about 40% or so in this little frame here of waiting for a confirmation, as you guys probably understand. And as also, for example, if the major supports are, for example, lying at around 27,000. So, for example, I need to be a little bit more cautious with how I do things on a... okay, because I have a keyboard, but I also am using it on a Mac computer. So the keyboard is like a Windows, and then I have to use a little bit different buttons. But let's say, for example, 27,000 is our main bottom, which you all know is the 200 EMA over on the weekly, and we've had our 26,000 or 25.7 thousand. Good correction right there. Again, we can also speculate basically and take the little takeaway and try it out to actually get a short to a little bit above 27,000 purely because it's actually such a strong barrier. Then again, the majority of people are pointing out that 28.5, 28.6 is the strongest one. And that actually comes to this little sideways theory for Bitcoin. If you take a look, the 4 hour chart can be drawn in two different ways. One is actually this little triangle, and the second one is this little channel that we see right here. They both are pretty much valid because we've literally been going sideways for the last couple of days or so. You can see here, for the entire week here thus far, we have been moving sideways, and there's no denying that. So the reason I'm saying that making a trade right now is not really justifiable just quite yet is mostly because even though it broke out right here, We've actually not really broken out towards previous lows here from about a day ago or so. And if we again put that into a channel, you can basically see that this would just be the most logical bounce to have. It's not really logical to actually break through all of a sudden. We should more so expect it to support at this level instead of breaking through. Personal thoughts, right? Then again, over on a weekly, I do see it a little bit differently. The way I'm looking at it right now is, well, it's looking as if we're going to really just bounce through here. Not bounce up from in this little demand zone, but just zoot through. Depending on how the stock market moves over the next 12 hours or so, well, no, 5, 7, until it closes over in a couple of hours, I think that's going to be the most determining move. If the stock market closes really bullishly, there's a higher probability that Bitcoin will move bullishly over the weekend, right? I think you guys can all agree with that. Is it really fundamentally true? Not sure, but I do believe so, right? I do believe if the stock market closes really green, there's a very good chance that crypto is going to go green, and then the weekend is kind of like a nicer move. We still have a chance to kind of turn it around, and that would be one of the most bullish scenarios for Bitcoin, because that would basically mean that we follow the similar pattern as we saw in January and July, where there's a retest of this specific demand zone for Bitcoin, with a close above it, and then the next week being a very bullish reversal week. Again, in this case here being bullish engulfing, previous times it wasn't, but I don't think that really matters for the scenario. I personally think, however, that as it currently stands, we're not going to see that. It is looking too bearish, and the stock market is looking too bearish over the last couple of hours, that is just going to have a weekly negative close over on the stock market that will reflect itself back onto crypto, which will allow for crypto to still move negatively over the weekend or so, which is again why I did, which is contradictory, but sure, why I did think that a short position right now and opening it up and keeping it on right now is actually warranted, so to speak. That is actually not as bad as an idea as usual because of this negative sentiment in the stock market that's not really going to turn around. Even though we theoretically speaking should actually wait for 28.6 thousand or so to be broken to actually expect a further move towards the downside. And right now the most logical scenario is to bounce back, which we have done thus far. But again, we can wait a couple hours to see how it's going to move shortly. All right, you can see over on the 1 hour we just moved back the last hour, but don't get frightened just quite yet. We still have a little bit of room to go. We can still bounce back and still kind of continue to go on this little decline over the next couple of hours. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Earlier today, I was talking about as well. You guys were like in the comment section. Everybody was talking about this Luna kill switch. Everybody was talking about it. Hey, real quick, all right, honest talk. We have about wait a minute, what's happening? Do I not have a freaking charger in it? Damn. Are we saved? I think we are saved. No, wait a minute. Why does it go off again? Is charger broken? I think we're good. I hope so. Oh. Is it lagging? I put the charger in and it starts to lag a little bit. Oh, yeah, there we go. So I think we're still live. We're good. What I wanted to say is real talk, all right? If you're watching this stream right now, you're enjoying it. You don't have to do jack shit, all right? Nothing. But since we have over 250 people watching right now, if you guys smash that like button, all right, you're going to my eternal hall of fame. I have a piece of paper right here, all right? Oh, I just accidentally took it off. But I have a piece of paper right here, all right? If you guys press the like button right now, I'm going to write a couple of names on here, on this piece of paper. And you will be forever imprinted on this piece of paper. All right? So that is what you need to know right now. Write our names, Tommy says. I'll write a couple of names. If we get to 100 likes right now, I'll write at least, okay. Whose name should be written down? Already liked? I mean, oh, Tommy says, well, don't. If we raid, you will be part of it. Okay, so first name to write down is Tommy. There we go. Tommy. I'll write down accomplice as well, In case of, they'll come get you, my friend. If something happens, wait a minute. Let me make sure this is done properly. All right. Yeah, you will not see the rest of this. We've hit 100 likes. Let me write some people down. You know why I'm also doing this, guys? I think this is actually a really good thing for building the live streams further on. Because a lot of you guys' names I see so often, and I remember you like freaking night and day, right? So Badlan Sasaka, you've been here like freaking every single time I recognize your name as if it's like, it's crazy. Yeah, who else did I really, really remember? Tommy Rose, yeah, I remember you. Like, you're also here almost every single day. Roth Boss, always representing XP Gang Gang Gang. Always the same in that sense, which is positive, I guess. A couple of you guys I really remember from every single day. And again, Damp Flock is also there. Good evening, Dusty, and all viewers. What's up, man? Damp is also here very often. You've been around for a long time, huh, Damp? It's crazy. Damp Flock TV. Yeah, so again, don't feel like negative or so if I don't remember somebody. It's like some people talk so much that you just can't ignore the guys anymore, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you talk too much. But the only guy I wrote down is actually Tommy, by the way. Little fun fact. I then got distracted again. So Tommy, you're on my piece of paper. I'll write down that you're my accomplice, you know? So if the FBI ever comes knocking down my door, you're the first one which they're going to grab. Or they think this is my hit list, and then all of a sudden, or they think you're my long-lost brother, you get all my money. You know, so see it in any way, shape, or form you'd like to have it or to see it. Maybe it's a positive thing. Maybe you're going to jail with me, my buddy. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, all right? We'll see how it goes. I am FBI. Tommy's to blame. That's what I always say as well. If all of a sudden, you know, we get like a mass raid and they start to just rate the entire stream because all you guys are like my accomplices, all right? If we just all write down it was Tommy's idea, we're all good, I think. We all write down the same exact name. That guy was it. Blue Whiskey says, I've changed my name, but remember I used to watch you with the VR headset. It was really cool. Watch with a VR headset? It's a little bit suspicious, my guy. You're watching me with the VR headset? Doing what? Huh? It's a little bit sus, bro. Not gonna lie. But sure, I'll accept it. Thank you, I guess, for supporting with the VR. A little bit sketchy. You just need to see me in, you know, like that in the VR. But all right. Yeah, I digress. So there was two things I wanted to share. One was this plan which you guys shared with me earlier. Man, I've been doing. Whenever you guys tell me about something like this, I have to go like full detective mode, man. You know. So is Do Kwon's terror recovery plan part of a kill switch protocol? You guys were spamming me the freaking entire day with this, saying, Dusty, check it out. This Do Kwon has been telling for years that this guy, let's not be too rude about it, is gonna just go and exit scam everybody at one point, or just disappear from the planet. I was like, ain't no way, boys, ain't no way that happened. And you guys said, yep. So then I went on full research mode, and indeed, you guys are crazy with how the frick do you find these old ass interviews? I mean, with me, it's like, well, I sometimes remember, like for example, old Charles Hoskinson interviews, I remember, you know. But then again, how? So apparently, this aspect of the plan may have been premeditated. An old interview of Kwon, which resurfaced recently, shows the Terra founder talking about a kill switch for Terraform Labs. The Terra recovery proposal will include a hard fork to the new chain called Terra version 2.0. And apparently, in the interview from 2021, can we actually open it? Is it YouTube or what is it? This link specifically. Let's see. This is Twitter. All right. This is the Fat Man, I think, huh? I think Fat Man shared it. Because whenever I was looking over on Twitter, I saw Fat Man was sharing it. Let me just quickly open it on the side here. You know, in case I accidentally open something else. Damn says Terra going to zero was announced a month ago, so it seems to have been planned a long time. You know, the fact that he moved his company just a couple days up front, and the fact that the South Korean government is also like, you know what? We're not really accepting this as like a business practice mistake. We're thinking you basically misled and ran a literal Ponzi or so. Not gonna lie, this guy looks a little bit as if he's been playing in movies, you know? His face is really recognizable. He's had so many memes of him that it looks as if his face is like really from like Star Trek or so. Maybe I'm saying something really racist or something like that. Just know it's not meant to be that way. It's just his face looks really familiar. Danny says, after years of listening to Dusty and now seeing Dusty, I gotta be honest, I expected something else. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I've been showing the face on YouTube for about 4 months or so. So it's funny how people are like, wow, you're just seeing it now. So you've not watched a single video of mine in 4 months, which is interesting. Little fun fact. All right, let's see it here. All right, I hope he's not going to curse, because I don't really curse on the YouTube, but it is what it is, right? I guess I'll have to accept the consequences now. This is what Fat Man shared today. Okay, let's open this up. Let's open this.
Armageddon is that's a
Oh, wait a minute. Can I open this? It's going to be...
kill switch. So whenever we feel like we're no longer in a position to be able to best serve the community, we pull the trigger and 24 hours we're gone.
I just sneeze. Woo! That's not good.
We burn all of our assets, we cut all of our ties, and it's nothing. So that's just in case where things move a little bit faster than we're anticipating.
Ooh, right? Ooh, that is that one's gonna sting though, I think, no? Did you guys think about this one that's gonna sting for a little bit to the guy? It's like this is gonna creep up his asshole a little bit and like tickle a little bit, I think. This one's gonna sting, my guy. Damn. Ooh. 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 Dusty, if you watched the Coin Cider video about Luna UST, it was posted 2 months ago. You mean the talk where he basically explains about why it's a scam? I mean, in hindsight, we can really honestly believe and understand why UST wouldn't really work. It's just wishful thinking that I had, honestly, right? Because I said in every live stream of mine, I don't really fully understand why Luna UST correlation would work, why it would actually work. And people kept telling me, yeah, I don't understand either, but it works. I'm like, yeah. And then I kind of kept on with that little ruse, right, of thinking, but yeah, was it really a scam? I mean, the more we start to read into it, the more I'm thinking maybe it all was, right? But very often you just don't know up front, man. You just don't know up front. I swear, it's crazy. Kurt says, I remember the day Dusty came out of the... okay, interesting. Gezondheid, thank you very much, my friend. Good and tight. So send Don Qua to jail. Dusty, what do you think about GSX? Man, I'm a little bit sad with that. You know how much money I have in that locked up? Because I thought it was going to do pretty well. The way in which they told me the story was so amazing. And still, they basically invited me. I never went, right? But I still have the invitation open. And I speak to the guys sometimes, the guys who founded that basically. You know, they're real people. I know them, so to speak. And you know, they're I guess, pretty open with everything. And the minds and stuff are real. Everything they've proven to me. That was such a long discussion to make sure that everything is cool. Because at first I was so skeptical. If you guys don't know about GSX, it's basically a gold-backed currency or so. I was honestly really excited about. And I'm still like bag holding heavily. It never really popped off. I'm still pretty sad about that, honestly. But yeah, I still am thinking, Caesar, they invited me to go to the mines to go check it all out. And they've invited me like many times. They would just make sure I could check everything out because I had some skepticism sometimes. I'd never gone because of the South Africa situation and things like that. Being not so nice. Is GSX a scam? Why hasn't it hit Binance? You know, I've invested in, let's say, at least 400, let's say 300 or so. Let's say 300 new cryptos coming up. And I would say that about 1/3 does exceedingly well. I make crazy amounts of money on that. It does really proper. About 2/3 in the same sense as Binance does, right? I invest in a lot of different projects that Binance invests into, as an example. But even Binance, a lot of them actually fail. Why? Because it's a kind of a quantity game. And that's why I always describe to you guys, if you have a $20,000 bag, don't go for $20,000 in one. Try 20 times $1,000. And if 3 fail, fine, doesn't matter. Because one of those 20 is going to make you $50,000, for example. And that's seriously how it works in this world of I would say, VC investing, venture capital investing, just investing in startups or newer coins or so. So can I call it a scam? No, in the sense that a lot of the coins which just don't do well are not by definition scams. They're just not done well. And there's some cases in which you could have been, a little bit more careful to just not invest or so. But in the way I see it, it's like, well, you got to just try out a lot of different things. Never put too much money into one of these projects and see what works out, because some will not. But very often it's about the idea and the way in which it can convince you and whatnot. But sometimes it's also wishful thinking from your own side, where it's like you hope something's going to do well, and it just doesn't, if you guys get my drift. Yeah. But long story short, man, I've bought so many different coins. It's like, yeah, a lot of them have failed, man. I swear to you. If you look at my portfolio, you'll see how many coins have gone like minus 80% or so. Where the founders are such nice people. And that's whenever I'm in a one group with a lot of like, I would say Dubai traditional crypto guys. I'm in like a YouTuber group, and we also have like a normal crypto guy group. And one of the questions they asked me like last week was, "Hey, do you know this project?" And I basically spoke with them, and we went out for some stuff. We did some stuff together. I'm like, these are really nice people. And then they responded in the group saying, every founder of a project is a really nice person because they want to kind of convince you, specifically if you're a YouTuber or something like that, right? Because they know if they treat you really well, there's a higher chance you think better of them and better of the project. But that's something which is kind of hard to get adjusted to, sort of. That not that they're going to make use of you, sort of, but the fact that somebody's going to be extra nice because they can get something out of you, which they don't necessarily ask for, right? It's like they don't ask you for anything, but they just kind of in their head plan this up front. Side notes. I feel we've been done by GSX because they said they would put it on Binance and they didn't. I think they said this. I'm not sure if they did. You know how hard it is to get onto Binance, man? It's not an easy thing. But the whole GSX thing, if in hindsight, if I could do it over again, I probably wouldn't invest, to be honest with you. If I had the knowledge then that I have now, you know? But again, in crypto, things move very fast. I've learned so much from investing in so many things. And again, you learn through all of this, right? You learn through all of this. Women have to deal with that every day. I'm not sure which part. Oh yeah, with the fact they're nice to you for one thing. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you can see I wasn't born a woman. All right, you can know that now. You should do a YouTube team up video with Moon Lambo. Your sense of humor would mix great. I've talked to Moon Lambo multiple times to do that, and he was down, but I never really got to it. I guess the question is also, what are you going to talk about, right? Because we talked usually about this exact same thing. Then what are you going to discuss? Because you know the exact same thing. It's like, well, if you have the same opinion on many things, it's like, well, you're not going to really get far. Lobster says it actually did quite well from Luna Crash. That's good to hear, my friend. That's really good to hear. I have not done too bad either. I think I'm still. The UST crash. You guys know I'm not so happy with that one. I definitely did not do great on that. But over the whole endeavor, I can't say it's been too bad or so. I've been enjoying myself still. There have been a couple of down days, not gonna lie to you, where I've been like, oh damn, man, this money I could have just cashed out and just be happy. And then I kind of got sad about it a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's not that something would drag me down or do something really with me. It's like a little bit of a thing where I'm like, ooh, and then I just adjust. Otherwise, you're gonna. If any of these investments really get you down, if you're really gonna be too emotionally attached to them, just know you're over-invested in something. That's the thing though. With this UST, is like, people thought it was really safe, including me partially, because it's stable coin. It's not as if I was investing crazy in Luna, because again, that's not necessarily safe. The value could drop at any one point. And honestly, if my Luna dropped 99%, I wouldn't have felt so devastated as with UST, purely because I thought the UST was quite safe, if you guys get my drift. Then again, we did make a 60 or 73 or something like that X. I don't calculate the exact number. I just don't know officially because it's smaller amounts of money. I just don't know. But like 60, 70X or so on our Luna trade before. It compensated for a little bit of my Luna loss. Maybe even all my Luna loss. No, not all my Luna loss. Maybe all my Luna loss. But then I still have my UST loss, obviously, which is not being compensated. I'm down a lot of money on UST. And it is all my own fault. And I'll own up to it because I'm a dumbass. But hey, you learn in the crypto space. You learn. You live, you learn. We had to make the money to lose the money to now make more money, right? Rover, and a lot of people say like this, you have to lose millions to make billions, and that's the way we always see it. It is what it is. You have to lose it to learn from it and make more later on. So the reason you sometimes get sad is because, well, you had that. You could have used that for such good things. So now it's like, ooh, it's annoying. And it also is just purely because it might have been a lot of money to you. But in reality, if now, for example, hypothesis, right? Let's say I were to, in some way, shape, or form now, lose $10,000 or so because of an investment, of a crypto investment. Now, let's say $40,000 for a crypto investment. I wouldn't necessarily be any more stressed over it. I wouldn't necessarily sleep worse that night, It's only once you start to move with way more money than you actually should that you can really get stressed for it. But it depends on your net worth, depends on your average ticket size or how much you put into one project at a time or something like that. Because I know a lot of my crypto projects that I invest in will fail, but a lot of them will do really, really well, which at the end of the day will just really farly outperform. But yeah. I have a lot of coins that I'm. Oh boy! Whoa, man, guys, there's one more coin. You actually made me think about it now. Let me see what I'm investing in. One more coin. I'm not sure if I've already invested or I'm gonna invest, but let me show you guys. I forgot almost about it. Let me see. I've been. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I'm not sure what exact. I'll most likely talk about this in a video specifically, so I have a little bit more time. Because right now it's a little bit, you guys already know. I'm like, it's a live stream and I kind of forgot about it. But man, I have my people, all right, who look for me for the better investments. Again, I do a lot of investing. If you guys don't know, my main thing, I would say, in the world is that I invest into things. It's not my YouTube or anything like that. I told you before, YouTube really isn't that good of an earner or anything like that along those lines. So what we do is look for investments, right? So one of the things that you guys, not necessarily you guys, but my people, have been putting up for me is this. Let me show it to you guys. And I'm going to invest. And again, whenever I talk about this, understand one thing. Please do not see this as financial advice. If I'm talking to you about an investment, there's a 100% chance that I'm going to put money inside of it. That does not mean there's a 100% chance that I will actually get to put money inside of it, in the sense that I want to put money inside it, but it can sometimes. Because sometimes it's full, sometimes it goes too quickly, sometimes it's impossible. That also does not mean that I'm actually telling you to actively pursue buying this coin once it's already launched. Whenever I talk about this, very often I'm talking about being able to buy it before launch, but sometimes that can be hard. All right, there's a couple of really big distinctions to make right here. Sometimes you need to know the right people to be able to buy it early. Then again, what's coming up? This one, keep the name in the back of your head, all right? Again, even just if you, please don't just trust me for it. Keep this one in the back of your head. I'm going to be buying it. And it can be a pump and dump. That stuff I never know up front. But in the way in which people have been telling me about it, it's a little bit laggy because my computer is kind of shitty. Even though it's completely new. It's like maximum 2 weeks old. I'm going to be buying this one, and I think it's going to do really well. Let me see the exact features again. So I'm not going to lie. This looks a little bit bobbly. I guess it's kind of cool, right? But it looks kind of bobbly a little bit still. Can't say that's the best I've ever seen. But let me see again their points. Metrics. Can't even read properly. I'm stupid in the brain. Metrics is a fully decentralized ecosystem for gaming, NFTs, and metaverse. Cross-chain NFT support platform. It's like your traditional metaverse, Consists of 12 artifacts, 9 themes, and 3 islands, built exclusively for owning premium virtual real estate property with surrounding celebrity lands. Let's just say it like this. You understand how these metaverses work. Alpha version of Metrics Metaverse is actually launching this year as well. Premium islands include the Palm, X Islands, and World Islands, monetizing the real world property replicas. It's pretty hard to distinguish good versus bad metaverses because a lot of them are kind of alike. And this one is not like an Unreal Engine 5 type of metaverse that some of the projects are building. So it's not as if I can really tout the graphics and whatnot. It's a metaverse. But again, what we analyze is performance and expected performance. And honestly, my guys, I think this is going to be a banger, all right? So if I have to make a choice, and you have to make a choice, I would say look into it. Not financial advice, but I'm 100% certainly going to get myself some of these tokens. And if you can, potentially take a look at it at least. But also one thing to make sure is I look for the performance the moment it launches. That second where the price goes to, where you can actually cash out though, is my indicator. It's not about where the price goes over a couple of months, all right? It is to get your investment out of that as quick as possible. Sometimes it's to buy early and sell early. Again, it depends on a couple of factors. But so for anybody looking at these projects that I sometimes show, if the project does this, right, it goes from 1 cent to $1 to 20 cents, that's a 100x. If you could have actually sold at the $1 mark, right? That's again a big distinction. If you could not sell because it went too quickly, we don't count that. But if you could sell, then it counts. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. The fact that it went to 20 cents again, that's your own damn fault, right? Own damn fault. A lot of people sell at the top. I personally am a little bit too late most of the time. I miss out on a lot of these opportunities. What's the last one I showed you guys? Fame MMA. How much do we make on that one? 200x, 300x or so? This one, I'm not sure how many x is going to be, but I'm hoping at least like a 10x or so. And a 10x is all I want, Because 10x basically means if you get 10% at the start, you get your money back. But yeah, I honestly think it's going to do well. The marketing on this one is done really immaculately. Immaculately. Just know that, right? Remember, Metrics.network. Metrics.network. Remember this. Remember of Dusty. If it goes wrong, don't remember that I've told you about it. No, but no jokes here. I think it's going to hopefully do well. At least I'm going to be buying into it. So yeah, That's it. And Caesar, of course, you're more skeptical, huh? The whole GSX thing. Fair enough, right? Fair enough. I get you. But let's hope this one does well. Then again, I invested so many. If this one doesn't do well, I'll show you guys another one that most likely does well. Again, the last one I showed you was Fame MMA, which was 2 weeks ago. And it did 200x. Made good money on that one. Made a real good money on that one. It was really easy, too. It was a really nice one. I loved that one. Last one before that we showcased was... I don't remember. I've shown a lot of these things. And there's a couple other ones I'm going to show you recently as well, or shortly, I should say. A lot of other crypto YouTubers are into those. But yeah. Blue Whiskey says, don't worry, I've been there. I just hold now and accumulate CX is XP Ledger coin. Ooh, I'm not really a fan of XP Ledger coins, guys. To be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of that. A lot of those things are really not so good. Yeah, personal thing. Hey, so actually, guys, little question. Who's in with me on the short? I just described over on Telegram. If you're not in the Telegram yet, make sure you check out the pinned comment right there. Join the Telegram. Who's in with me on a short right now? Again, we are doing this a little bit preemptively. Is that the right word? We should actually wait for a confirmation below 28.6, but I already put up my short at the start of the stream. Let's see if we're already in money-making territory. Let me open the Bybit app. We are in. Let's see this out. Let's check this out. Let's check this out. Derivatives. We're in profit, but not that much profit, to be honest with you. It's not mind-boggling amounts of money that we're making right now. Let's put it like that. It's not doing too amazing just great, but it will come. It'll come. I'll add some more money to the short, whatever. All right, once more, it's a little bit of a riskier move, and I'm not saying any of you guys should follow along with me. But it is what it is. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Yeah. Still on Bybit, I'm not going to show you guys my account here. My XRP is actually my biggest hold that I have on Bybit as well. Did you guys know that? I own, for anything, I own way more in XRP than I own in any other coin right now, as of this point. I'm a big XRP bull. And the moment that the lawsuit settles, is when the time I'll stop making YouTube videos and become a multi-trillionaire. Yes, exactly. No, that's not true. But that would be juicy, though. I've been waiting for that for so long. Yeah. And fun fact, did you guys know? Do you guys know Crypto or Moon Carl? If you guys know him, by any chance? Do you guys know? Or Da Vinci, for that matter? A lot of you guys say, please don't hang out with them too much. They're XRP haters or so. You know they own millions of XRP as well? It's not as if they don't have XRP. You know, a lot of the people which you see hating on it actually do own it. A lot of people just don't like to acknowledge it, you know, because they say it's centralized, this, that, this. Just it's lack of knowledge, in my own opinion, as well. But even so Crypto also has a couple million XRP. Did you know that? Moon Carl hates XRP. He still owns XRP. He might hate it. He might not like the coin, but he still owns XRP. I'm not sure how much he owns. Probably also a couple million XRP, right? Thinking about it like Carl. Probably a couple million. Yeah, and I also sometimes see people saying these guys are fakers or not wealthy or so. They are extremely wealthy. Most people you see on the interwebs in the crypto space, they're pretty wealthy for themselves. They do well. It's also not fake or so. If you see the, he drives a Bugatti. What are we talking about? Glad Instance says there are a few damn good coins on the XP Ledger, and it's still very early. Just wait for this one, and then the end of a lawsuit. 2 major pumps on the way. Excellence 20D. I need to go research it more, man. I've just not been involved with any coins on the XP Ledger. I've not been in any way, shape, or form connected to that. I'll just have to check it out. I really have to check it out, and then I can give you my opinion on the matter. Did you buy XRP really early? Yeah, no. I have a good chunk of XRP from early, but I've mostly been accumulating later on, to be honest. Like Cardano, I've been with since the start, and it's actually pretty cheap if you look at my relative price. But for XRP, my average price is now significantly higher. I'm not sure if it's above like 10 cents or so, but it's still a lot higher, than it was before. With Cardano, it can't be above 2 or 3 cents. Cannot be. Do you honestly see XP at $1,000? No. Not really. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I wouldn't say it. So can it happen? Sure, it can happen. Same thing as Bitcoin can hit $10 million. Sure, I'll say sure. But it's not as if I'm expecting that to happen or so, right? If you get my drift. It's like I can say, do I expect a dollar to actually go to zero? Again, there's a probability that that's eventually going to happen, sure. But it's not as if I'm actually expecting that to happen just quite yet. All right? It's like I'm not really thinking about that. I'm not really talking about that because I just don't know exactly when or things. It's a little bit far away. It might take years and years. And again, future, like Tommy says right there, future. What is future? 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? Again, I don't need or care for XRP at $1,000. If XRP really goes to $15 or so, which we are expecting already, you know how happy I'm going to be? So you and all your 1,000 or so, it's only if you really are at a point where you have accumulated, let's say, 5 XRP or 20 XRP, 100 XRP, where people really need those crazy high prices. But I'm thinking, honestly, guys, if you really, for some people it's different, you know, so I can't put them all over one comb. But if you really work hard for it, specifically if you're at one of those countries in the world where you're like at the higher average pay. So for example, if you're in India, it's a little bit more difficult than if you're over in Switzerland, right? You guys get that. If you're in America, it's a little bit easier than if you're in, again, India, for example. As per getting, you know, let's say a couple thousand XRP or so. In America, it's a lot easier, I would say. But at that point, yeah, if you're really hoping for those crazy high thousands of dollars per XRP, it's a little bit more wishful thinking. It's like hoping for the miracle, which again can surely happen. I'm not going to deny that, but it's a little bit too far-fetched for me. I like to be more realistic about what is like within grasp, within reach, rather than think it's so far away. If you guys get my drift. Then again, I'm not saying it's impossible though. You gotta always keep open in that sense. People think 500 XP is enough to retire. You don't know. You know, if XP really does become what a lot of people think is going to be, then in some way, shape, or form, it might actually be good enough. I can't say. Caesar says, there's so many of these hype channels saying XP to 5,000. I don't follow these or believe them. You know, I'm not sure if people honestly believe it themselves. Bless you, thank you. Or if they're just doing that for the hype. Because if you're talking about 5,000, I remember me calling out the guy who said it's going to go to 35,000, and a lot of the people were angry at me because they loved that video. But, yeah. Pocket says, just stick to Luna and NFTs. XP's trash, right? You got it, my guy. Just stick with Luna, the actual cryptos. Actually good cryptos like Luna. Exactly. Now, in all seriousness, guys, I like to focus more on coins that have a lot of utility or that are quick gems, so to speak. But XRP, I think, is one of the best ones. All right, let's see if we're going to have a crazy reversal here over the next hour or so, or if it's going to fall through and hopefully get our short popping off. It can do both, all right? I'm not going to deny that it's just not going to pop back up and come right back here. We should wait for confirmation and then make the trade. We've already made that clear, established that properly. I'm going for a little bit of a risky move here, which is not what I recommend anybody to do. I don't know, I feel like it today. So what is your price prediction for XRP? I don't have a price prediction for XRP. What is your price prediction for the S&P 500? Nothing. It's just going to keep going up as time moves on. I don't have a price prediction for what it's going to be. Where's my XRP price prediction? I don't have any. Anybody telling you a price prediction is just doing like this, because it makes no sense to do a price prediction. It's based upon nothing. On demand? Not even that. Not even that, I don't think. You can't actually put demand into the same factor for the actual XP price. Because even though demand might be higher, the supply might actually be a lot higher, if you guys get my drift. You know, if there's more demand, it doesn't necessarily get the price higher up. Because it could be that people are actually really eager to sell at those points as well, for example. So it's hard to say. People talking 5,000 even though it hasn't hit all-time high. Obviously, those are two different discussions. If we're talking about like all-time high or so, you're talking about a really short-term thing or some of a move that is, more attainable and realistic on the short term. But people sometimes like to kind of do some wishful thinking or planning for futures and stuff. Dam says, XRP can go to any number imaginable, but it might just stay below $5 for years. Nobody really knows. Exactly. Damp also says one right thing, and that's that the sell pressure is going to have a little bit of a big spike the moment it gets back above like $2.50 or $3. because a lot of people have been waiting years to cash in on their XRP, and it's the same thing as Luna. Let's say you actually do manage to buy Luna at $100 before, and all of a sudden now the price is like freaking $1 or even below a cent. The moment it gets back to $100, now let's say even it gets back to $1 or so, people are going to be selling massively because they finally are back in some sort of profit or some sort of way in which they are fine with selling. A lot of people don't like XRP, and they would be happy to sell it at $1 or $2, if you guys get my drift. Then again, those will be only short term, right? Over a longer period of time, it will fix itself. So it'll most likely be fine anyway. All right, guys. We've already been streaming for about an hour. Well, my story was actually rather small. I have two small things to explain later on, which is the William Hinman thing, and of course the fact that this freaking drama with the whole exit plan of Do Kwon. I want to make that into a video specifically as well. For right now, so that was it for our stream for right now, right? I will definitely get you guys a little bit more juicy stuff going on later today. If you guys enjoyed these streams, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want more of these crypto updates, make sure you press the like button right now to show your support. And, yeah, all right, make sure you watch out. Don't poop your pants, don't pee your pants, because that would be a little bit not so nice. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that's important to kind of mention here. All right, don't poop your pants, and good luck on the streets. It is